What's going on, Aries? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just epic, Aries, and it keeps us growing. You know, Aries sidebar, I just actually met an Aries the other day, or just found out that she's working with Aries energy. I'm just like, and I was telling them, I was just like, I haven't met a lot of Aries, especially like more like adult Aries. So I was like, I've met a few, but it's like I can definitely count on my hands. So I'm just like, yours is an interesting frequency there, Aries. But yeah, just thinking about that little random nugget. And for those of you who are new, which I'm hoping to be more of you, Aries, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, I hope you like that, Aries. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Aries, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aries. Now, Aries, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. Well, before you get into this thing, Aries, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Interesting. Thank you. And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching their Aries. Very powerful intuitives that they are. Very, very great insights that they provide as well, their Aries. And one of them is actually an Aries, so maybe, might resonate with some of his messages. But there's also some links for some other readers that some other astrologers that I like watching as well, their Aries. Very powerful insights that they bring. They bring very... I feel like they're both of their approaches are just really fascinating Aries, and I think that you could potentially learn a lot from that, outside of Celestial News Monthly. But something there, and I'm also going to start including some resources down in there. I got some, I'm going to be loading that description box up, but there's all types of tools there, Aries, so stay tuned for that. And you know what? This might help along with your process here, because with your first card here, Aries, you have the Acolyte card in reverse, which is a card of new projects and learning. And Aries, I feel that, especially with your ruler getting ready to move into, depending when you're watching this, in like 2 days, Mars will be moving into Capricorn. And your ruler does very well outside of yourself and Aries, does very well in Capricorn. He's exalted in that. And where granted, depending on where your Aries placements are at, this is technically forming a square with your signs, which can be energies of delays, tensions, almost like challenges that are kind of coming up for you. I do feel that this is a very constructive way for Mars to put challenges on you by exposing areas where we may feel we need to broaden. Maybe we want to... I was just in my lift, doing a lift the other day, and there was this language barrier between us. I'm just like, how do I fix that? Like, granted, can't learn. Well, maybe I could. Just all set on your limitations there, Aries. It's like maybe you've been wanting to learn a new language, or maybe there's a course of study you want to go back to. Maybe there's a project that we've kind of shelved that we've want to revitalize, or maybe you want to start learning maybe like DIY stuff, maybe fixing up your house. That's just something I've been getting lately. But I do feel like this energy is inviting you to think about that sort of long-term energy now that your ruler is taking on that Capricorn flavor. You're in an energy of drive, of success, of momentum, of calculated risk, and it's being intuitively guided too, because the dispositor of Capricorn is Saturn, who's chilling in Pisces for the next few years. So now we're really connected with Source, and I feel like it's paying attention to those. It's very Tower energy that this is getting here, is paying attention to those kind of like intuitive downloads that you're getting, these things that are feeling, and you're the initiators of the Zodiac Zodiac there, Aries. You know, I feel like starting up something isn't a problem, but I do feel like that let's be mindful of starting things up out of just like, you know, just start up stuff stake. You know, we want to make sure that where that cardinal energy is nice, having that initiator, just being able to just bam, just go get it. You know, it's what are we doing with that afterwards? Are we just starting up stuff? You know, how are we sustaining that in solidifying this energy? You know, making this, you know, building this foundation here that Capricorn ask, or this energy will ask of you, Aries. But because you're about to get to some, there are going to be some heavy squares coming your way with both Mercury getting ready to enter back in. Sun and Pluto are doing some cool. There's some neat stuff coming on the horizon here, Aries. So definitely pay attention to these. Give time and energy into some of these passion projects here. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. And I was just thinking about Pluto. Yeah, very. Because this is going to be... Oh, let me get the rest of your cards there. Thank you. Alright, Aries, let's see what you got here. Passion projects, love that. So you have the Five of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Cups upright here, Aries. Then you have the Three of Cups and the Judgment card in reverse. And you know, I do feel with this Knight of Cups here that this Knight of Cups, Five of Wands energy is giving me this energy of almost embracing the discomfort and potentially even the fear that comes with pursuing some type of passions there. You know, not necessarily a good example for this, and not to say that we're doing this, Aries, would be like, you know, like a shift in maybe in one's career. Maybe we've had this epiphany that you're tired of being an accountant and now you want to what do you want to do there, Aries? Maybe you want to what's the Knight of Cups doing? Maybe want to be a professional matchmaker. The Knight of Cups, he's awfully romantic. Or, you know, maybe you want to get into sculpting, or maybe you want to travel the world, kind of get some experience, new experiences here, get a new sense of seeing things from a different perspective there, from a I don't know, seeing all sides of the world, even in a sense, but I do feel like it's inviting this energy of conflict here that, and I even feel too that there's even might be this departure here from either some friends, maybe some family, something along those lines there, Aries, that maybe getting in the way of this new you here, this new sense of transformation. And it might be, and pay attention to the environment that you're around, how certain groups make you feel there, Aries. Are they affecting your abundance? This is Mercury in Capricorn, or excuse me, in Cancer, this Three of Cups here. And I feel like it's, if you're sensing some sort of, yeah, dissonance, or just like a certain message that a group maybe embodies is no longer resonating with you. It's just like, what do we need to do to change that? How do we listen to that energy and kind of follow, let our heart lead us to a new state of learning here, seeing ourselves in something broader here, Aries. And just one last kind of thing, especially if you have like degree points, just kind of thinking about this energy, Aries, because this is, I'm going to start doing the monthly readings for Aquarius season, starting, we're going to start coming out on Sunday. And especially if you have like points around like the 29th degree, or on, especially if you have it like on the 29th degree, any of those Aries placements are going to be kind of lit up there, because the Sun and Pluto here are going to, they form we'll get a little spoiler here. They form a conjunction for the last time in Capricorn on the last degree in the last minute. So this is a very, I feel like, kind of intimate exchange between the Sun and Pluto, where the Sun kind of shines light and Pluto on the Plutonian things, and he's gonna lead the way. The Sun will kind of light the path, and then Pluto will follow right back in the behind him that evening. But yeah, it's going to be that. I feel like that discussion, that last sort of like, all right, this is the end. This is an end to a chapter, and we're getting ready to come on a new era here. And granted, this is going to create opportunities for you as well. There, Aries, this Pluto's going to be forming sextiles with your placements over the next decade or your next couple decades. So I mean, well, and it has been, but now it's going to be shifting a little bit. Like now, how you interpret that energy is going to be different. So, pay attention to where these new energies are leading you, there, Aries. But let's get another oracle on this. Thank you. All right, Aries. So you have the Twins card here, which is a card of self-protection and dual natures here, and you got this upright. And I do feel that there is, and how interesting, talk about the Twins. Jupiter's going to be moving into Gemini a little bit later this year around the end of May. And so that's even going to be forming. You got a lot of air energy that's going to be kind of forming some very favorable placements with you with Gemini and Aquarius energy here to be linked up with like Saturn and Saturn, or not Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter. And granted, my plans are all over the place. Pluto will be retrograding back into Capricorn one more time towards the end of the year, but I do feel like this energy is kind of getting to think about how these kind of challenging aspects have pushed you, how you've learned to protect your energies, and I feel too, if you've been struggling with these changes that have been going on, maybe there have been these sort of discomforts here, learning a bit more about that, like being more, I feel like it's like this developing a newer sense and a clearer sense of intimacy with yourself there, Aries. And I even feel there's this energy with the Three of Cups if we've been keeping some of these internal things kind of bottled in there, even like sharing this amongst maybe some people that are maybe even a person that, maybe consider a twin, or that at least gets you on that sort of emotional level, understands, these things, and, have like a very thoughtful exchange between, or this could even be too there, Aries, if this is not something you feel comfortable sharing with someone at the moment, then just even kind of sharing it with however you can, connecting with source, kind of, if you're not sure where the change is going, ask to the universe, what are these messages trying to push me, like, because I was just talking with someone as far as like, there's so many ways to discover where the source is trying to lead you, like it's not just, I was talking to him about astrology and just saying, well, I don't quite believe it. And I was like, listen, you don't have to, we're all trying to get to the same end game here. It's just how we all interpret it is very differently. But I did tell them that I was like, well, when you look at my chart, there's this new moon that's getting ready to come up in Capricorn, and it's just like, what am I making space for? It's happening in my sixth house, which is house of routines and day-to-day jobs, and these are things that I've been thinking about. How does that going to look going forward into the future? What do I need to change about my routine? What will change about my routine? How that, like, a lot of questions along those lines, and then like that lights up the house. It's a lot of things to think about, and seeing the duality of these situations and why this energies and conflicts things are happening, because this is a form of self-protection that is happening, but it only comes, I feel, when we start learning more about how we respond to certain energies and things along those lines there, Aries, because there is this, I feel, this heightened sense of awareness that is kind of happening collectively there. you know, we're getting into a different type of shift. So, but let me get some very lovers energy here, clearly with this twins here, but just speaking of Gemini energy, because they are the twins, you know, that could be, you know, and again, they're a sign of communication, so understanding this stuff, and there's the sun, here's Pluto. We were talking about that Sun-Pluto conjunction there. Alright, thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Aries. Oh, and interesting. If I was just talking, you see how these energies link up there, Aries. So you have the moon, the sun up right here, and then you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And so just considering that I was just talking about, because we have the new moon coming up on the 11th of January. And how interesting. When you think of that 111, a lot of synchronicities coming through there, Aries. A lot of places to reflect on where we may have been, because I feel this moon card is giving me this disillusionment that's kind of coming through there. Really kind of, I like that you got the sun and the moon, because the sun is, or the moon is right after the sun. And, you know, I've been actually reading something here, Aries, talking about the relationship between the sun and the moon, because the sun is so bright that you're not meant to, you know, you can't look at it for a long time, you know, but the moon allows you to understand the sun on a subconscious level in all the phases of that joy, you know. The sun gives light and the moon gives light. They give life in this different type of way, but I feel there's this understanding of these. The moon shows the relationship of the sun and in between Earth. You know, it's like it's all, there's a three-way dance that's going through there. It's between our planet, the moon, and the sun there. And I feel like it's just kind of tuning into the natural cycles here. What does Capricorn season mean to you? What does that mean getting ready to go into Aquarius season? How is that aspectually affecting me? And again, like just what you intuitively feel. If something is feeling like, oh, I'm tired of my job. Oh, there's not enough time for me to do this. There's not enough of that. Paying attention to those recurring kind of messages there. And in investing more into that, seeing where we may have been coming up short there, Aries. And I like that this is, you know, that both of them would have come up in this while we were talking about that. So I feel like even this new moon energy can be one for you to really get some manifestation started there, Aries. You know, and this is happening around the 20th degree. I think it's the 20th degree in Capricorn. So pay attention. Maybe you have some placements there, and this one's going to be an extra potent energy for you. But the new moon is meant to be, and an astrologer I was listening to put it in a way that I really like. The new moon phase is about what do I need to clear out, what do I need to declutter in order to receive these intuitive messages from the sun, in a sense, and then take what I've learned from the moon and digest all that energy that the sun gives. You know, the sun gives you that energy to manifest during the day, and then the moon gives you that time to reflect on what you've done and what needs to change. You know, where can we adapt? You know, okay, we're coming into this challenge here. You know, you could look at the relationship between the sun and the moon as the relationship between the subconscious and the conscious energy, and how they can be in harmony, or when they are in harmony, and when they are at conflict, and you know, and when we need to integrate the two. So very interesting energy here, Aries. I'm with it. I'm so with it. But let's get some tea, and then let's get your last card here. Oh. All right, Aries. Thank you. All right. We were talking about that too. Communication. Because you have the Orator card in reverse here, Aries, which is a card of communication and confidence. And This is interesting because the skull here is giving me very kind of death card energy. And I do feel that it is communicating honestly to whomever you pray to, whoever you channel to, whether it be God, Buddha, Jesus, whatever that's looking like, Aries. And maybe for some just communicating, acknowledging that there is a change happening, but I'm not sure what that means. Like what is that, like, how is that resonating with me? How are these what are these energies making me feel? Why are they making me feel this type of way? And developing this relationship, I feel, with the vulnerability that does happen with that judgment energy, that change, because Pluto brings those energies, those things that stay hidden, up to the light in order to make us stronger. Because if we keep that stuff buried down, like this in the Seven of Pentacles here, then they can't grow. It just stays there. So, and I like that there is this this energy of where you put your energy, it will grow. And how this person is channeling their energy into the seed. He doesn't at first, he doesn't see how these seeds are taking root underneath the soil, but he has to trust that through water, through the nutrients of the earth, through the care, through the loving energy that he sends to that the seeds are being receptive to that, and that they are growing. And if you are noticing that this sense of growing is, I feel like there's this, like how we were talking with that Mars energy, it's like, okay, there's that dissonance there. The energies aren't communicating as well, and how can we fix that dissonance? We have to be adaptable in this energy. And now it's like, in your ruler just came out of an adaptable sign of Sagittarius. You wanted to grow, you wanted to trailblaze, wanted to try new things. Now, how do you take the things that you've learned and ground that? How do you communicate that effectively and eloquently to yourself, and then to maybe even others there, Aries? So very fascinating. Let's get some tarot on this and get clarify this a little bit. Because Aries, your energy is one thing you're so one to learn is how to lead the pack. To be absolutely, to be the initiators, to be the ones that take that first step, to take that leap of faith, and that everything is. Oh, look at that one of your hot card, the Empress. Love it. Hold on, Aries. Let me get the rest of your cards. Alright, Aries. So you have the Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands in reverse. And then you have the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Fool, and my girl, the Empress, up right here. And let's switch back over here, Aries. Because I feel with this that the universe is asking you, I feel like, to take a leap of faith there, Aries. We may not have the confidence as far as like where we're going, but I feel that if you allow yourself to feel that vulnerability, to put your thoughts that, okay, I know I'm not sure where things are going right now, but I know that clarity will come when I follow, or I know that the clarity will come. And I feel that it's like when we have this sense of surrender, when we stop resisting the energies. Because this Ten of Wands is giving me, maybe we've been trying to force something. Fire energy is one that I feel it just, when that spark is ignited, it just wants to go. It's just, because, Aries, I get that. I have, my Mars placement is in the first house, and when it's time to take action, I'm like, bet, let's go. Like, let's like, what's there to think about? Let's just and I get that, but sometimes you do need to take a moment and say, is this really where we need to charge into. How can I use that big burst of energy constructively? How can I follow this impulse, this inspiration, and get it to where I'm getting this sense of fulfillment. I'm experiencing the world and I'm building this. I don't know, like taking this, being being willing to. I like how the Empress is pregnant with the world here, because I feel like this is you taking the stuff inside of you and birthing that to the world. What in what ways do you want to build and leave beauty upon this earth than when you started with? And I even feel with the Knight of Wands too is enjoying the fact that you don't know. You're journeying into the Moon card can be a card of journeying into the unknown. Not sure where you're going to, trusting in those intuitive energies, because now we're in the darkness with the Moon. You have to trust the Moon's light, and sometimes things can appear differently under the Moon than when we see them clearly with the Sun. And so yeah, this is a very brave energy, a very one of, I feel like it's recalibrating with the Two of Pentacles there, Aries, and really kind of, it, it's this emperor at his highest vibration, but I feel like, really intuitively knowing when to move and when to act, but I do feel there is still this insecurity there with that confidence, or the orator being in reverse, that even changing the narrative and how we might be communicating with ourselves is affecting our abundance there. We have all this around us, all this within us, even there, Aries. And so now it's like, how do we take all that abundance within us and expand that throughout so we can enjoy that in this realm there too, seeing the duality, what's coming in your mind and how that translates. So I like that, Aries. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So a little something to ponder. But if you like that, or if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, Aries, and share this. If you know someone who's been, who knows, Aries, been needing to try something new, or maybe having trouble seeing things from a perspective, maybe not even knowing how to, what fulfills them, or what, how to protect their energies, or whatever that may be looking like, because yeah, confident, we're in a time, or we have been, especially with Uranus having been wreaking, just not even wreaking havoc because the Fool here, just changing things in Taurus, changing how we think about security and how we think about the world, even because Taurus can deal with the nature, how we deal with the environment, or whatever this is, like just in a number of things, and puts our self-esteem into question. Is just like, how do we adapt, how do we get this sense of freedom, how do we take whatever we feel is holding us, constraining us, and turning that burden, 10 of Wands, we're just at 10 of Wands ago, turning that burden into a different action, taking that conflict and for using that as again constructively. So just something pass off to them, and subscribe there, you judgment. I don't know, Aries, I feel we're kind of calling you the Fool, but I mean, we all get fools at one point, where we're going with that Fool energy. But yeah, do all the things, do all those YouTube things, Aries. And then last little bit, let's move on. If you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the charity den, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. Talk about where the moon's phases are at, what sign she's in, when she's going void, of course. It's just lunar shenanigans. So definitely check that out. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Aries. And you got the Ten of Swords in reverse here. And I like this, because this is the Sun in Gemini. And again, a lot of energies about that duality, where or that's the thing to end on. How can we, because the Ten of Swords can be this card of rock bottom, to having to feel like you need to start over, like how the way that you thought about something has changed, in a sense. There is this betrayal that's happening in the sense of like, oh, I used to think one way about this thing, but due to a certain experience, or a lack of or maybe even a lack of an experience, now I see this thing in a different type of way there. And how am I healing from that? What does that mean for my journey going forward? Now I'm maybe not feeling so confident as far as where I was. Maybe I do need to learn something new there to protect myself, and not from a state of fear, but from really a place of strength. Where can I embrace, nurture myself, and be kind to myself in this new realization, in order to, because the Ten of Swords can be this heralding the end of delusions there, Aries. So I feel like, when you're at the bottom, the nice thing is there's nothing more to see. You've reached as low as you can. Now let's look up and let's see what's going on. Let's see. Okay, that climb is tall. Okay, what do I need to do? And then we get into action. Then we start fueling. Then the brain gets a turn in there, Aries. So I like this. I like this energy, Aries. Let me get your other oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Oh, look at this, Aries. This card has been going around. I've been noticing this more and more, Aries. So you have you think I know it by now, the Journey Guide card here in reverse. And this is a card of travel and change in location. And so, this may not necessarily have to be something as extreme as changing your location there, Aries. That might be. We were talking about that with the Three of Cups, and even thinking about Pluto and getting into Aquarius. That's going to affect how that deals with friends and groups and things, and how we connect with others. So there might even be a need to just, for some, I feel it's how do we almost take the lessons that you got while Mars was in Sagittarius. In what ways, like the excitement of learning something new, maybe a new culture, a new way of thinking, something to broaden this perspective now that you're going from this expansive energy into this grounded energy with Mars in Capricorn. And even too, because Gemini was a very kind of a theme in your reading. It's Gemini can deal with that kind of short term travel as well, going beyond your neighborhood, or maybe even learning your neighborhood in a more intricate type of way. There, maybe there's some inspirations that are looking around from around in that source that might be kind of beckoning to you. So, and maybe even wanting to see even that area is growing, and what you're even contributing to that as well. So, or how that environment might even be contributing to you, and pay attention to how that makes you feel there, Aries. Yeah, because I'm getting a little surge of emotion there. So, that might be something that that's holding pretty deep there, and it's just like, what is that? Maybe we need to journey out into the unknown, or, we're kind of how this girl's got things packed, and we got the weight on our world in the shoulder, or weight of the world on our shoulders, because it's tough trying to figure that stuff out there sometimes there, Aries. But know that you are divinely guided, especially, there's that communication with source. Like, I may not know exactly where I'm going, but I bet I'm going to get it figured out. So, I like that, Aries. I think I'm going to leave that there. So, you stay safe out there with these changes. And, I feel like there is this, kind of learning about yourself, and be very compassionate in this learning there, Aries. What things may be revealed, what darker things may come up to you, and learn to love that side of you, and shine a light on why that side is there, because all it's doing is trying to help you get to your highest vibration there, Aries. And while we're reaching that vibration, keep raising it to the roof, to the sun, to Pluto. Let's let Pluto a little nugget. Let them feel what change you're getting ready to bring there, Aries. And I will catch you on the next one. Later. Tuesday. Mars Day.